Okay, so welcome to section 5.2, describing data. So definition. So a table with one column listing categories, a table with one column listing categories, categories of data, categories of data, and the other column, the frequencies, and the other column, the frequencies with which the data appear, the frequencies with which the data appear, is termed a frequency table. So is termed a frequency table. That's what we're defining. Frequency table. So for example, so suppose you have 5 cats. Suppose you have 5 cats. 5 cats, 2 dogs. That's a terrible S. 2 dogs, 7 rabbits, 13 fish. 13 fish. And 1 ferret. And 1 ferret. So create a frequency table representing the categories and frequencies of each animal. So create a frequency table. Frequency table representing the categories. So representing the categories and frequencies of each animal. Okay. What color shall I use? Maybe purple. Okay, so I want the category of animal. Animal category, all right, for illustrative purposes, and frequency. And another term for frequency would be count, i.e. the number of each animal. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so let's start with the first animal. We have 5 cats. So the animal category would be cats, and the frequency would be 5. Then next we have 2 dogs. So the category of animal is dogs, and the frequency or number or count is 2. The next category of animal is rabbits. So rabbits. And the number of rabbits or count is 7. Then we have a fish as a category. So fish, and the number of fish is 13. And finally, we have a single ferret. So under the category of animal ferret, we have 1. Okay, so this is a frequency table. It has categories, in this case animals, and frequencies of each category, and in this case a number of each. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so definition. So, pardon me, a bar graph, that's what we're defining now. A bar graph has vertical rectangles. So it has vertical rectangles, and you'll see this in a moment. Has vertical rectangles. Rectangles. Whose heights, represent the categorical frequencies. Whose heights represent the categorical frequencies. So the categorical frequencies. Okay, so that is i.e. id est, i.e. the vertical axis is equal to frequency. So the vertical axis is frequency or count, right? Number. Okay, so let's see this put into practice. So for example, so let's create a bar graph to illustrate. So create a bar graph. To illustrate the frequencies. Let's do 5 cats again, 2 dogs, 7 rabbits, 13 fish, and 1 ferret. Okay, so my vertical axis is frequencies. So what I need to do is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so hopefully that gives me 1. Oops, let me make that better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so in my horizontal axis will look something like so. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so what do I know? I know that my vertical axis is frequencies. Okay. Now my horizontal axis is categories. So categories. So for example, now what color did I use for cats? I used blue. Okay, so let's use the same color. We have 5 cats. So what that means is that I have to have a box or a rectangle that is 5 units high, because that number 5 represents a number of cats. It's as high as the frequency. Then we have, in green, 2 dogs. So let's go over here. My height now for dogs is a box or a rectangle of height 2. So this is dogs. Then I have, did I use yellow? Yes, I did. Yes, okay, 7 rabbits. So now I'm going to go to the next category, and I'm going to have a rectangle of height 7. So rabbits. Let me move that over a bit. Then the next one will be 13 fish, which is why I needed my vertical to go all the way up to 13, because I have 13 fish. So now my box will be 13 units high. So this is fish. And finally, I just have a single ferret, right? 1 ferret in hot pink. Okay, so 1 ferret. So this is a bar graph. It has categories on the horizontal and frequencies on the vertical. Okay, so let's note something about bar graphs. They can be arranged from most frequent to least frequent. So note a Pareto chart, a Pareto chart. I'm kind of defining it here. Orders a bar graph from highest to lowest frequencies. So orders a bar graph from highest to lowest frequencies. Lowest frequencies. So for example, if I were to recreate the bar graph above, what would I get? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now remember, my vertical was frequencies. And my horizontal, of course, are categories. So categories. Okay, but now I have to order this from most frequent, which is fish, for a Pareto chart. So now my first rectangle will be the most frequent. Ooh. So this is fish to come first. Then what's the next most frequent? It looks like rabbits. Okay, so rabbits with a height of 7. So let's see, 7 for rabbits. So rabbits. And what comes next would be cats at 5. So cats at 5. Then dogs at 2. And finally, a single ferret. So this is a bar graph, but a very specific bar graph, which is called a Pareto chart. So this is a Pareto chart. Don't know what my kitty's doing. So Pareto chart. Okay, so it's the same information. It's just looks nicer, right? Okay, so definition. Definition. Now we're going to define a pie chart. So a pie chart is exactly what it sounds like. So a pie chart, that's what we're defining. So cuts a circle into wedges. So cuts a circle into wedges. Two wedges or pieces of pie, right? Wedges. The areas of which are in proportion to the frequencies. Are in proportion to the frequencies. Okay, so what do we mean by this? Let's see an example. So example, create a pie chart. A pie chart. For, let's do 5 cats, 2 dogs, 13 fish, 7 rabbits, and 1 ferret. Okay, so let's first note. We're going to be adding the number of animals here. So what do we have? Cats. We have 5 cats. We have dogs was green, 2 dogs. What was fish? No, did we do? Oh well, I'll keep the 13 fish. 7 rabbits. And 1 ferret. Oh, I really got that wrong, didn't I? I didn't need all those pluses. Okay, so how many animals do I have total? 5 and 2 is 7. 7 and 13 is 20. 20 and 7 is 27. So I have a total of 28 animals. So that's what I need to cut my pie into. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a circle. Let's see, hopefully I can draw this well. I'm not very good with this, but let's see. Nope, okay, it's not letting me do that. Why not? Okay, almost. I think I almost got it. Maybe? No? Okay. Something like that. Okay, so now what I need to do is, luckily 28 is divisible by 4. So let me go ahead and cut this into 4. I don't know, the middle looks like it's about there. Something like that. But then if I divide 28 by 4, what do I get? I get, so Let me color this a bit lighter. Do I want that? Sure, that's a good color. Okay, so each of the 4 parts needs to have seven parts, so that's 6 lines in it. 1. No, that was bad. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, I need to make them a bit smaller. So it's a bit closer. So 1. Yeah, that's not very good, is it? Boy, this is more difficult than I thought. So 1, even with autocorrect. 1, 2, and that's going to be too small. Boy, I can't win for losing here. Okay, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, not very good, but close enough. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. Now, mind you, those are supposed to be equal in theory. And let's do the same thing over here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so imagine, if you will, that that was 28 equal parts. Okay, so now what I need to do is illustrate cats. So cats is equal to 5, so I'm going to annotate that by blue. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these parts here. And I'm going to color them in blue. So 5 out of the 28 animals are cats. And that's how we illustrate that on the pie chart. Now let's do dogs. So dogs was 2, so that'll be illustrated, of course, in green, so 1, 2 parts of the pie chart. So let's go ahead and color 2 out of 28 green for the dogs. And now we have, actually let me keep it colored. Let's do the rabbits next. That was 7, so that'll be our yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm going to color 7 out of 28. Well, that's a perfect quarter, thank goodness. So I can kind of make this look somewhat okay. Something like so. Oops, that didn't work at all. Okay. But I think we get the idea, hopefully. Okay, so now let's do the fish, which was 13. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, there's only going to be 1 left. 1 part left. Okay, so now this is going to be a bit more difficult for me to draw. let's see if I can do this. If nothing else, it's a nice meditative exercise, drawing all these over and over and over again. If, like me, you're unable to get it right the first 5 times. But I imagine you guys can draw better than I can anyways. Okay, so finally we have a ferret. And there is exactly 1 spot left for our ferret, as there should be, right? Okay, here's our little ferret. Goes in this 1 piece of pie. Okay, so this is a pie chart. And now we're going to move on after all that work. Okay, so let's see. Do I have 1? Let's see. I'll go down to the next page. Okay, so definition. Definition. So a histogram, that's what we're defining. A histogram is a bar graph. So is a bar graph whose horizontal axis, remember what used to be categorical, horizontal axis, is a number line. So instead of categories, we now have numbers. So let me note that. So note. So this entails, or this means that the categorical data, what used to be animals, the categorical data are numeric values. So for example, suppose in a class of 30, of 30 students, and the scores on the last exam. So these scores on the last exam were as follows. Okay, so let's do 7 people. Got 90%. Let's do 3 people. Got 80%. Let's do 10 people. Got 70%. 5 people. Let's see, got 60%. Let's see, how many people is that so far? 20, no, 10, 25, okay. Let's do 4 people. Got 50%. And 1 person. got 40%. Okay, so create a histogram to illustrate this. To illustrate this. Okay, so remember, the vertical axis is the frequency. Okay, so what we're going to do, the frequency, that the highest frequency was 10, right? So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now the horizontal axis is a number line, and we'll get to what that means in a moment. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this was frequency for a bar graph, which a histogram is. And this used to be categories, but now it's numerical categories. So categories. Okay, so let's look at this. And I'm actually going to start from the bottom. So one person got 40%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I do 6, 7? Maybe I could do 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost. I can bring that out. And 10. Okay, so remember this is a number line. So percentages are over 100. So let's call this 10% or 0.1, 20%, 0.2, 30%, 0.3. And then I have 40%, 0.4. And what was the frequency of people or students that got 0.4%? Ugh, come on. Just one person got 40% or 0.4, right? Not 0.4%. What am I saying? Don't listen to me. Okay, how many people got 50% or 0.5 on the number line? Well, the frequency of people was 4. So now my bar goes up to 4. How many people got 60%? 0.6. Well, that was 5 people. So now my bar is going to go up to 5. How many people got 70% or 0.7? That would be 10. So now my bar is going to go all the way up to 10. Okay. Then how many people got 80% or 0.8? And that was just 3 people. Wow, not very many. And last but not least, how many people got 90%? Or 0.9. That's 7 people. Interesting. Okay, so 0.9. 7 people. So I go all the way up to 7. I believe that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay. Okay, so there is a histogram. because the categorical data is numeric. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'll see you in the next section.